I'm Darla Givens, and I'm going to bring you the news you need to know while Sabrina is out on maternity leave. CRA members, on Wednesday, you received an email from us about Governor Newsom's reopening plan for restaurants. As you know, the governor's main message was that reopening of restaurant dining rooms will occur at different times on a county-by-county basis. Here's what's next. Local jurisdictions that meet certain public health benchmarks can submit a plan for reopening to the state. The state has to approve that plan before the local jurisdiction can reopen. As each area reopens, restaurants there will have to follow the state guidelines. But keep in mind that public officials in each area can impose stricter guidelines of their own. All that sounds cut and dry, but there's a wrinkle. The benchmarks that locals have to meet are not an easy hurdle, even after the governor modified them this week. Here are the new metrics. A county has to have stable hospitalizations of COVID patients, meaning that number can't go up by more than 5% in 7 days. Or a county could instead show that it hasn't had more than 20 hospitalizations on a single day over a 7-day period. Also, a county has to show one of these two things: either fewer than 25 cases per 100,000 residents in the past 14 days, or less than 8% testing positive in the past 7 days. How long will it take for larger counties like LA or San Diego County to meet these new benchmarks? We're waiting to learn more from county public health officers. Officials in many counties thought the old benchmarks were too difficult to meet, so we'll see what they think about the new ones. How many counties are open so far? More than 20, and that number is growing. They're largely rural counties that have relatively few cases of illness or death related to COVID-19. In those areas, restaurants are being allowed to reopen in modified ways. To see the list of counties opening, go to the link in the description below. We'll also be updating the list on our own website, calrest.org, where you can also find details about additional safety restrictions that some of these counties are imposing as restaurants reopen. Beyond the struggle of being closed, there is this. Some local regulations seem to hurt rather than help. The CRA and our members have fought hard to turn the tide on those efforts. And one of them is the City of Los Angeles right to recall. It has to do with worker retention. These policies dictate how you must rehire former employees by prioritizing those with the highest level of seniority. The city's proposed ordinance also gave laid off or furloughed team members up to 10 days to accept or refuse a restaurant's offer to go back to work, making it impossible to imagine reopening in a nimble fashion. Policies like that can further delay reopening and put the city's staff in a position to micromanage your hiring practices. Thanks to our members who showed up to City Hall and spoke out, restaurants were largely exempt. It now applies to other hospitality workers and airport and janitorial workers. The LA County Board of Supervisors and the Long Beach City Council voted to approve similar policies, but again, left the majority of restaurants out of the mandate. The city of Pasadena is entertaining the idea of a similar measure, and the CRA will be advocating on your behalf. We estimate that there are as many as 1 million restaurant workers out of a job in California. The idea should be to bring them back to work the fastest and easiest way possible. I'm Darla, and I'll see you here next week.